What chicken, ZERT Nation? XP001 here. Thanks for tuning in again. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's review. Once again, we're talking about the tools of the trade of the executive protection industry. Yesterday, we ended off with, we talked about the Blade Tech holsters, the Glock 19, and Corbon ammo. Now, to hold all this stuff, we have what's called a Liger belt by Liger. This belt is awesome. One, it looks like a dress belt. Two, it has this rubber composite. So, you know, like some slick leather belts, you can have a lot of slip and slide, but this causes a little positive traction to keep your stuff in position. Also, it has a very robust, I don't know if this is metal or aluminum, buckle. Bottom line is that you can either strangle someone with this, beat them over the head with it, and it secures your gear very well. And it doesn't have a tactical look or approach. It does have a business belt look. So great belt, firm believer. Okay, additional tools of the trade. Okay, obviously this is a Mophie device. This will charge up 2 iPhone batteries. iPhones with technology now, being a lead advance agent, you're gonna be using your phone to snap pictures, to communicate with other agents, to send emails. Communication is key within the EP world, and always have an additional battery source either for you or your client. A lot of times the biggest things I carry, that's a whole nother section on taking care of your client, but you can carry extra, you know, charging cords and stuff like that for your client, because a lot of times if he's a businessman, he may leave stuff behind or his phone runs dead, and there's been multiple times that he's used my phone for that. So always have a power source. Also, I have a HPL lockpicking kit. So this is a small one. Basically, I have my wrench and my rakes. So if I need to get in somewhere or we forget keys or whatever, this is a valuable tool. It's got me out of a jam once. Whoops. You always have to have a good blade on you. I'm a fiend for straight blades here. So this is a class 9. This is made in Japan by Hikari. Here, if you can zoom in on that. So this is a great, super sharp Japanese blade. Also, which I covered in season 1 of Coffee and Hate for the Executive Protection Dad, is a seatbelt cutter and a glass breaker. This is very important. A lot of the details I worked on overseas, we were more likely to get in a car accident than be in ambush. So this is a very important tool. Every agent has one. Has my old call sign Blue J02 from the last detail I was on. This is Broas blades. When I worked for, this can be used as a seatbelt cutter as well, but it's a little bit more dangerous because you can cut up your client or that person trying to get out, where this is actually a safer option. But I started running these like little hook blades when I worked for De Beers. We did a lot of transport, cutting open a lot of bags, inventorying stuff, moving diamonds from back and forth. So I always carried this on my dress belt inside my suit jacket here. And I always carry a blade on my support side, regardless if it's a knife or, you know, a Kydex sheet. So many guys are always carrying their knife on their gun side, and we're going to cover this in the combative series of season 2 of Coffee and Hate. We've done a lot of combatives, and when we go to the ground, the guy is fighting for your gun, or you're fighting for your gun. The key thing is you're always rolling on your hips to protect that gun. Well, you have someone on top of you. If my knife is in the same side or pocket as my gun, I can't get to it. So the fact is that, and this was a trick learned from Donovan over at Las Vegas Krav Maga, is carry knife or blade on your support side. So while you're protecting your firearm, fighting off that combatant, you can pull a blade or a source, Deathridge toothpick, and you know, do some damage to be able to get to your firearm with retention and engage that threat. So that's something to take in consideration. This is a Comtac Kydex holder for additional light source. So if I'm not carrying a gun, I always need to carry a flashlight. Flashlight's a very important tool. This has, you know, this is a Surefire 6P, has a strike bezel on it, light source combat striking, And also too, a lot of venues and areas you go in, even during the day, I've had with clients, complete power failure during the day in venues and it's pitch black. So light source saved us and got us to the emergency exits, safely without tripping over, camera cords and going up and down stages, etc. Now, this is a book I always carry with me, The Executive Protection Specialist Handbook by Jerry Glaze book. For all you solo agents or advance agents, it's just basically a checklist when you're going to do an advance on an airport, hospital, hotel, briefing drivers, restaurants, everything. It's just an additional checklist. It has a travel checklist for when you're not only flying with the client, flying with the family. So it just basically helps keep you in check and make sure you don't forget anything. I always go through this when I'm doing advance, and before I send the advance report out, I double check, make sure I didn't miss anything before I send it to the director, the team, and lock in all the travel considerations for the client. I always carry a notepad and a pen. This pen is a solid aluminum pen, has an NSN number. I got this as a groomsman gift. It has an NSN number. These are issued to some case officers within some intelligence agencies within the U.S. So it's super cool. Big thing is, why I'm an advocate on a notepad, a lot of agents like to type in all their information on their phone. Well, when I'm dealing with a director of a hotel or a venue, to me, it's rude to be sitting there, texting information while they're talking to you. I want to keep a rapport. I write the information down, and then I transfer it over to my phone. So if my phone dies, I still have resource information. I have information from my last trip to Africa that I did last, I think it was March. So this had just some driver information on it. Now, traveling with bags. So when we're traveling, you don't want to look too tactical. You want to, look low profile. So I use this when, we're in a casual setting to either bring water, chargers, all my additional kit. We can go over a complete video on personal travel kits for vehicles, clients, etc. But this is just a Cavu bag. Thing's like $60. I've literally had this thing for probably 8-9 years now. And then when we're in a more higher end setting, this is a Toomey. This bag's probably about $400. But the thing is that you want to blend in with your environment and blend in with your client setting, because a lot of times it's not all about looking like security. You want to blend in and not draw attention to yourself, especially when you're overseas. And we can talk about blending in, but this is a nice little single pack, and this will actually fit my MacBook. Now, all of this is completely worthless on the job if you don't have this business etiquette. Okay, regardless of all your high-speed ninja skills, if you cannot conduct yourself accordingly in a corporate environment, you're not going to make it in this industry long. All right, etiquette classes, international relations, Middle Eastern etiquette. I've had 2 Middle Eastern clients, and I studied extensively on Middle Eastern etiquette, especially when you're dealing with their wives, their kids, and business settings. So this is very important right here, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and crush the day, be safe, be lethal, give them nothing. XP001 out.
ZERT is a worldwide membership-based organization that uses zombie as a metaphor for any natural or man-made disaster that could occur in our lifetime. Your zombie could be hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, a deadly force encounter, or civil unrest. ZERT is about being prepared, trained, and most importantly, armed with the proper mindset to see you and your family through to safety. ZERT is not just an organization. It's a lifestyle. ZERTNation.com